A rusted gasoline sign still leaned above the road where my father's little station once kept half the county going. The pumps were wrapped in yellow weeds, the windows filmed with time, but I could hear our laughter like a song beneath the sign. We were 17 and fearless, with our sleeves rolled to the bone. We believed the county line was all that kept us from the world. We fixed tires through the afternoon, then raced the falling sun, certain that our real lives had not yet begun. There are ghosts beneath the gasoline sign, not the dead, but who we were. Young men full of restless thunder, certain, wild and sure. Every dream burned like an engine, every wrong road looked divine. I still meet my younger shadow beneath that gasoline sign. Thomas left for Colorado, Daniel settled by the sea. I took work in northern cities where no neighbor noticed me. My father kept the station till his hands could do no more, then nailed the heavy iron key to my unfamiliar door. I promised I would visit, but the years became excuses. A man can call his distance progress when he fears what he is losing. I returned after his funeral with a suit inside my car, and found the old sign waiting like it knew just where we were. There are ghosts beneath the gasoline sign, and one wore my father's face. I saw him clean the windshield of a stranger passing late. He treated every traveler like their journey mattered too. The station sold them gasoline, but his kindness carried them through. Inside the broken workshop, I found a ledger in a drawer, beside a dozen family names he had written paid no more. He had cleared their winter balances before he closed the place. My father left no monument, just mercy without praise. I stayed until the evening, turned the highway copper red. I thought about the hungry boy who once believed he had to leave. The world beyond that county had taught me how to climb, but the man who taught me how to live had stayed beneath that sign. I restored the rusted emblem, though the station could not stay. The county moved it to the park where children come to play. A little plaque beneath it carries my father's name, but it cannot hold the 1,000 lives he quietly helped change. There are ghosts beneath the gasoline sign, and I'm grateful they remain. They remind me where I started, when ambition calls again. Every man becomes a traveler, every road outlives its time. But part of me is 17 beneath that gasoline sign.
Rusted gasoline sign still leaned above the road, where my father's little station once kept half the county going. The pumps were wrapped in yellow weeds, the windows filmed with time, but I could hear our laughter like a song beneath the sign. We were 17 and fearless, with our sleeves rolled to the bone. We believed the county line was all that kept us from the world. We fixed tires through the afternoon, then raced the falling sun, certain that our real lives had not yet begun. There are ghosts beneath the gasoline sign, not the dead, but who we were. Young men full of restless thunder, certain, wild and sure. Every dream burned like an engine, every wrong road looked divine. I still meet my younger shadow beneath that gasoline sign. Thomas left for Colorado, Daniel settled by the sea. I took work in northern cities where no neighbor noticed me. My father kept the station till his hands could do no more, then mailed a heavy iron key to my unfamiliar door. I promised I would visit, but the years became excuses. A man can call his distance progress when he fears what he is losing. I returned after his funeral with a suit inside my car, and found the old sign waiting like it knew just where we were. There are ghosts beneath the gasoline sign, and one wore my father's face. I saw him clean the windshield of a stranger passing late. He treated every traveler like their journey mattered too. The station sold them gasoline, but his kindness carried them through. Inside the broken workshop, I found a ledger in a drawer.
beside a dozen family names he had written, paid no more. He had cleared their winter balances before he closed the place. My father left no monument, just mercy without praise. I stayed until the evening, turned the highway copper red. I thought about the hungry boy who once believed he had to leave. The world beyond that county had taught me how to climb, but the man who taught me how to live had stayed beneath that sign. I restored the rusted emblem, though the station could not stay. The county moved it to the park where children come to play. A little plaque beneath it carries my old father's name, but it cannot hold the 1,000 lives he quietly helped change. There are ghosts beneath the gasoline sign, and I'm grateful they remain. They remind me where I started when ambition calls again. Every man becomes a traveler, every road outlives its time. But part of me is 17 beneath that gasoline sign.
The summer burned the pasture till the grass became the dust. The cattle crowded near the creek, the old well gathered rust. The banker brought a warning with a number and a date, but I had lived through harder years. I was no easy man to break. I sold the newer tractor and repaired my father's one. I worked the rail yard after dark and farmed beneath the sun. My hands began to tremble when the daylight turned to gray, but weariness could slow me down. It could not choose my way. I ain't an easy man to break. I've been tempered by the strain. I have crossed an empty pasture, calling cattle through the rain. You can take the comfort from me, you can make the daylight late, but as long as I can rise again, I ain't an easy man to break. My neighbor lost his courage and prepared to sell his ground. I crossed the fence one evening when I saw him looking down. He said there's nothing left for us, the land has sealed our fate. I said a hard year tells a story, but it does not write the end. We
joined our failing water lines and shared the feed we own. Two families held together what neither could alone. Our wives kept every record, our children stacked the hay, and every hand became a reason not to surrender to the weight. I ain't an easy man to break, but strength is not alone. It is knowing when another hand can help you guard your home. It is giving when your cupboard has one final meal to make. A man is hardest to defeat when he has more than pride at stake. The rain returned in autumn like a choir across the roof. It filled the creek by morning and turned the fields to proof. But weather was not victory, the debt remained behind. So we kept the hours we had learned and worked with clearer minds. 3 seasons passed before the bank released us from the chain. We never found a fortune, but our children kept their names. The fences held the cattle grew, the farmhouse lights stayed warm, and we had built a brotherhood that outlived every storm. Now younger men will ask me how I carried all that weight. I tell them I was frightened, I just worked despite the state. Courage is not never shaking or believing you cannot fail. It is putting both your boots beneath you when your confidence grows pale. I ain't an easy man to break. Every scar has taught me how. The things that once stood over me stand far behind me now. Let tomorrow bring its trouble, let the wind test every gate. As long as breath remains within me, I ain't an easy man to break.
The summer burned the pasture till the grass became the dust. The cattle crowded near the creek, the old well gathered rust. The banker brought a warning with a number and a date, but I had lived through harder years. I was no easy man to break. I sold a newer tractor and repaired my father's one. I worked the rail yard after dark and farmed beneath the sun. My hands began to tremble when the daylight turned to gray, but weariness could slow me down. It could not choose my way. I ain't an easy man to break. I've been tempered by the strain. I have crossed an empty pasture, calling cattle through the rain. You can take the comfort from me, you can make the daylight late, but as long as I can rise again, I ain't an easy man to break. My neighbor lost his courage and prepared to sell his ground. I crossed the fence one evening when I saw him looking down. He said, "There's nothing left for us. The land has sealed our fate." I said, "A hard year tells a story, but it does not write the end." We joined our failing water lines and shared the feed we owned. Two families held together what neither could alone. Our wives kept every record, our children stacked the hay, and every hand became a reason not to surrender to the weight. I ain't an easy man to break, but strength is not alone. It is knowing when another hand can help you guard your home. It is given when you're covered, has one final meal to make. A man is hardest to defeat when he has more than pride at stake. The rain returned in autumn like a choir across the roof. It filled the creek by morning and turned the fields to proof. But where there was not victory, the debt remained behind. So we kept the hours we had learned and worked with clearer minds. 3 seasons passed before the bank released us from the chain. We never found a fortune, but our children kept their names. The fences held, the cattle grew, the farmhouse lights stayed warm, and we had built a brotherhood that outlived every storm. Now younger men will ask me how I carried all that weight. I tell them I was frightened, I just worked despite the state. Courage is not never shaking or believing you cannot fail. It is putting both your boots beneath you when your confidence grows pale. To break, every scar has taught me how. The things that once stood over me stand far behind me now. Let tomorrow bring its trouble, let the wind test every gate. As long as breath remains within me, I ain't an easy man break. orders came on Monday that the company had closed. I folded it inside my coat and drove the long way home. I told my wife that work was fine, that nothing much had changed. Then spent the following mornings leaving at the hour I always came. I sat inside a roadside cafe until the afternoon, pretending I was still a man with something left to prove. Every unpaid envelope was hidden in the shed, and every truth I should have spoken turned to thunder in my head. I left my pride beside the river where the muddy water rolled. I watched it lose its power like a story growing old. I came home with empty pockets and the truth inside my hands. A man is more than what he earns. He is the courage where he stands. My wife discovered all the letters on a cold November night. She never raised her voice at me or tried to start a fight. She only asked, why did you think you had to hide this low? Did you believe I married wages or the man who shared my home? A quiet question broke the wall I had defended for so long. But shame can make a stubborn heart keep choosing what is wrong. I took my coat and walked outside, convinced I had to leave, until the river met me with the truth I would not see. That river had watched my childhood, my first job and wedding day. It knew me before money taught my pride to lead the way. The water never held its shape or feared the bends ahead. It changed without surrendering the ground beneath its bed. I left my pride beside the river underneath the winter moon. I let the current carry off the lies I could not use. I came home without an answer, without a perfect plan, but honesty was in my voice when I reached for her hand. We sat beside the kitchen light and counted what remained. A little food, a faithful house, two hearts prepared for strain. I called my brother in the morning and asked if he knew work. The hardest words I ever spoke returned a piece of worth. I started hauling lumber for a crew outside of town. The pay was less, the hours were long, but truth no longer weighed me down. My wife found work 3 days a week. Together we endured. The trouble did
shifted our world. Years have passed since that hard season, and better mornings came. I learned that losing income does not mean you lose your name. A man becomes much poorer when he hides from those who care, than when the coins inside his pocket are no longer waiting there. I left my pride beside the river, but I brought my backbone home. I learned that asking for a hand does not weaken any bone. Now when hardship finds my doorway, I don't face it with a lie. I speak the truth beside my family and leave my pride outside.
The notice came on Monday that the company had closed. I folded it inside my coat and drove the long way home. I told my wife that work was fine, that nothing much had changed, and spent the following mornings leaving at the hour I always came. I sat inside a roadside cafe until the afternoon, pretending I was still a man with something left to prove. Every unpaid envelope was hidden in the shed, and every truth I should have spoken turned to thunder in my head. I left my pride beside the river where the muddy water rolled. I watched it lose its power like a story growing old. I came home with empty pockets and the truth inside my hands. A man is more than what he earns. He is the courage where he stands. My wife discovered all the letters on a cold November night. She never raised her voice at me or tried to start a fight. She only asked, why did you think you had to hide this load? Did you believe I married wages or the man who shared my home? Her quiet question broke the wall I had defended for so long. But shame can make a stubborn heart keep choosing what is wrong. I took my coat and walked outside, convinced I had to leave, until the river met me with the truth I would not see. That river had watched my childhood, my first job and wedding day. It knew me before money taught my pride to lead the way. The water never held its shape or feared the bends ahead. It changed without surrendering the ground beneath its bed. I left my pride beside the river, underneath the winter moon. I let the current carry off the lies I could not use. I
when I reached for her hand. We sat beside the kitchen light and counted what remained. A little food, a faithful house, two hearts prepared for strain. I called my brother in the morning and asked if he knew work. The hardest words I ever spoke returned a piece of worth. I started hauling lumber for a crew outside of town. The pay was less, the hours were long, but truth no longer weighed me down. My wife found work 3 days a week. Together we endured. The trouble did not disappear, but neither did our world. Years have passed since that hard season, and better mornings came. I learned that losing income does not mean you lose your name. A man becomes much poorer when he hides from those who care, and when the coins inside his pocket are no longer waiting there. I left my pride beside the river, but I brought my backbone home. I learned that asking for a hand does not weaken any bone. Now when hardship finds my doorway, I don't face it with a lie. I speak the truth beside my family and leave my pride outside.
Never came with horns of fire or thunder in the night. He wore a clean and tailored coat and spoke beneath white lights. He placed a paper on the desk and pushed it toward my hand. He said, one name beneath this line and you'll become a wealthy man. The factory roof had failed that spring, the warnings were ignored. A younger man was blamed for it, though he had worn the board. They wanted me to change the truth and say he caused the fall. In return they offered me a chair above the working floor. But the devil knows I kept my word. He heard me say it plain. I will not buy an easier life with another good man's name. Let the door close hard behind me. Let the cold world have its say. The devil knows I kept my word when I could have walked away. My wife was waiting in the kitchen with the bills beside her chair. I told her what they offered and why I left it there. She looked toward our sleeping children, then took me by the hand. She said we may have less tomorrow, but they'll know their father stands. The months that followed tested us with more than I could hide. I repaired old farm equipment and swallowed wounded pride. Some neighbors stopped returning calls, some friends advised surrender, but the man they tried to sacrifice still had a truth worth sheltering. The devil knows I kept my word. He watched the winter stay. He counted every empty week and every debt we paid. But hunger never changed the facts, and fear could not erase the promise that an honest man must carry in his name. The hearing came in April at the county courthouse hall. I brought the buried records and testified to all. The younger worker kept his name. The truth outlived their plan, and those who signed the warnings off were made to understand. No fortune waited afterward, no crowd called me a hero. I found a place repairing trains and started back at zero. But every night I crossed my door and met my children's eyes. I knew I had not built their home on someone else's lies. Now when temptation whispers that integrity is cheap, I remember how a promise is the company you keep. A man may fool the whole wide world and silence what it heard, but he cannot fool the darkness that was present at his word. The devil knows I kept my word. He tried me every way, with comfort, fear, and hunger, with a price I could not pay. Let my hands grow old from labor, let my hair surrender gray. The devil knows I kept my word, and heaven knows the same. He never came with horns or fire or thunder in the night. He wore a clean and tailored coat and spoke beneath white lights. He placed a paper on the desk and pushed it toward my hand. He said, one name beneath this line and you'll become a wealthy man. The factory roof had failed that spring. The warnings were ignored. A younger man was blamed for it, though he had won the board. They wanted me to change the truth and say he caused the fall, In return they offered me a chair above the working floor. But the devil knows I kept my word. He heard me say it plain: I will not buy an easier life with another good man's name. Let the door close hard behind me. Let the cold world have its say. The devil knows I kept my word when I could have walked away. My wife was waiting in the kitchen with the bills beside a chair. I told her what they offered and why I left it there. She looked toward our sleeping children, then took me by the hand. She said, we may have less tomorrow, but they'll know their father stands. The months that followed tested us with more than I could hide. I repaired old farm equipment and swallowed wounded pride. Some neighbors stopped returning calls. Some friends advised surrender. But the man they tried to sacrifice still had a truth worth sheltering. The devil knows I kept my word. He watched the winners stay. He counted every empty week and every debt we paid. But hunger never changed the facts, and fear could not erase the promise that an honest man must carry in his name. The hearing came in April at the county courthouse hall. I brought the buried records and testified to all. The younger worker kept his name. The truth outlived their plan, and those who signed the warnings off were made to understand. No fortune waited afterward. No crowd called me a hero. I found a place repairing trains and started back at zero. But every night I crossed my door and met my children's eyes. I knew I had not built their home on someone else's lies. Now when temptation whispers that integrity is cheap, I remember how a promise is the company you keep. A man may fool the whole wide world, and silence what it heard, but he cannot fool the darkness that was present at his word. The devil knows I kept my word. He tried me every way, with comfort, fear, and hunger, with a price I could not pay. Let my hands grow old from labor. Let my hair surrender gray. The devil knows I kept my word, and heaven knows the same. coin above the Georgia pines. My old truck sang a low refrain between the broken lines. At 2 a.m. the radio was weather mixed with static, and 3 generations rode with me across that endless black top. My grandfather hauled timber before the roads were wide. My father carried freight at night with sunrise at his side. They never chased the highway to escape the ones they knew. Every mile they left behind them was a mile they drove for you. It's a blacktop bloodline, diesel dust and dawn, men who kept the wheels in motion when the easier work was gone. We don't run from those who need us. We return when the load is through. Every mile I leave behind me is a mile I drive for you. I know the lonely truck stops, the coffee burned and strong, the little towns that disappear before the night moves on. I know the weight of silence when the headlights are your guide, and how a photograph can keep a weary man alive. My boy was 6 that winter when he asked me why I went. I showed him what the work provided, but that was not what he meant. He said, I know you bring things home, but I still miss you when you do. That question rode beside me like an honest mirror would. It's a blacktop bloodline, but blood is more than robes. It's knowing why you carry and when to set down loads. A man can serve his family without losing every view. Every mile should lead him homeward to the ones he's driving to. I changed the runs I traveled and learned to turn some down. No extra check was worth becoming a stranger in my town. I reached his games on Fridays, heard my daughters sing at school, and found that being there for them was honest labor too. Now sometimes he rides with me when summer mornings shine. He studies every highway sign and watches every line. I tell him, son, this road is yours if it's the life you choose, but never let the miles you gain outnumber what you lose. It's a blacktop bloodline, diesel dust and dawn, not a curse of endless leaving, but the strength to carry on. Keep your word at every crossing, keep your reason clear and true, and make
make sure every road you follow still brings you home to you. The eastern sky is opening, the night is growing thin. A porch light waits beyond the trees. My town is waking up again. 3 generations brought me here, but today the choice is mine. I turn the old truck homeward through the blacktop bloodline.
A silver coin above the Georgia pines. My old truck sang a low refrain between the broken lines. At 2 a.m. the radio was weather mixed with static, and 3 generations rode with me across that endless blacktop. My grandfather hauled timber before the roads were wide. My father carried freight at night with sunrise at his side. They never chased the highway to escape the ones they knew. Every mile they left behind them was a mile they drove for you. It's a blacktop bloodline, diesel, dust and dawn. Men who kept the wheels in motion when the easier work was gone. We don't run from those who need us. We return when the load is through. Every mile I leave behind me is a mile I drive for you. I know the lonely truck stops, the coffee burned and strong, the little towns that disappear before the night moves on. I know the weight of silence when the headlights are your guide, and how a photograph can keep a weary man alive. My boy was 6 that winter when he asked me why I went. I showed him what the work provided, but that was not what he meant. He said, I know you bring things home, but I still miss you when you do. That question rolled beside me like an honest mirror would. It's a blacktop bloodline, but blood is more than roads. It's knowing why you carry and when to set down loads. A man can serve his family without losing every view. Every mile should lead him homeward to the ones he's driving to. I changed the runs I traveled, and
and learned to turn some down. No extra check was worth becoming a stranger in my town. I reached his games on Fridays, heard my daughters sing at school, and found that being there for them was honest labor too. Now sometimes he rides with me when summer mornings shine. He studies every highway sign and watches every line. I tell him, son, this road is yours if it's the life you choose, but never let the miles you gain outnumber what you lose. It's a blacktop bloodline, diesel dust and dawn. Not a curse of endless leaving, but the strength to carry on. Keep your word at every crossing, keep your reason clear and true, and make sure every road you follow still brings you home to you. The eastern sky is opening, the night is growing thin. A porch light waits beyond the trees, my town is waking up again. 3 generations brought me here, but today the choice is mine. I turn the old truck homeward through the blacktop bloodline.
Kept a quiet ledger of the things life never gave. Every door that closed before me, every long and underpaid day. I counted other people's fortune like it had been stolen from mine, and let resentment ride beside me down every county line. Then I met an old man walking where the highway crossed the plain. His coat was thin from seasons, but he never cursed the rain. He said the road makes no agreement when it stretches from your feet. It owes no man a gentle hill or shade against the heat. The long road owes me nothing, not a shortcut, not a sign, not a clear and easy morning, not a finish before time. But it gives me room to travel and a choice with every mile. The long road owes me nothing, still I'll walk it like it's mine. I stopped demanding fairness from the weather and the years. I learned a man can waste his strength by feeding every fear. Some mornings bring a tailwind, some nights will test your bones. You cannot choose the season
can choose how you go on. I began to count my blessings without calling them too small. A table with my family, a friend who took my call, the strength to rise before the sun, the freedom to decide, and one more honest chance to leave a better trail behind. The long road owes me nothing, not a shortcut, not a sign, not a clear and easy morning, not a finish before time. But it gives me room to travel and a choice with every mile. The long road owes me nothing, still I'll walk it like it's mine. I've seen men born to fortune lose themselves behind their gates. I have seen men start with empty hands and build a worthy name. The distance is not measured by the place where you begin. It is measured by the ground you cross without surrendering within. When my boots are finally weathered and my traveling days are through, I will not blame the road for every dream that did not bloom. I will thank it for the mountains, for the valleys and the strain, for teaching me that gratitude can make a free man brave. The long road owes me nothing, yet it gave me open skies, 1,000 quiet lessons, and the truth behind my pride. I was never promised easy, only purpose, breath and time. The long road owes me nothing, still I'm grateful it was mine.
I used to think the oldest oak stood tall because it never bowed, until a storm split one in two and laid its branches on the ground. The younger trees moved with the wind, then rose when it had passed. That night I learned a rigid thing is not always built to last. My father wore his silence like armor on his chest. He carried every worry moment's rest. He taught me how to work the land, how to finish what I planned. But it took me years to understand the sorrow in his hands. A man must be strong enough to stand, strong enough to bend, strong enough to speak the truth, strong enough to make amends. It takes more than an iron will to walk through bitter winds. The strongest man is not the one who swears he'll never bend. I carried that same silence into everything I built. I hid behind my labor when my heart was filled with guilt. When the people who stood near me tried to reach behind my walls, I called distance independence and mistook my pride for strength. Then my oldest son confronted me one evening by the gate. He said, I know you've worked for us, but I need more than what you make. I need to know the man you are, not only what you earn. His words move through my hardened heart like fire through winter earth. A man must be strong enough to stand, strong enough to bend, strong enough to hear the truth when it comes from those he loves. It takes more than an iron will to bring a hard road to an end. The strongest man is not the one who swears he'll never bend. I sat beside him on the porch and told him of my fears, of all the nights I doubted what I had become through years. He did not see me smaller, he did not turn away. The truth I thought would weaken me brought us closer on that day. Now when anger fills the room, I let the silence breathe. I listen before answering and think before I speak. Play used to think the oldest oak stood tall because it never bowed, until a storm split one in two and laid its branches on the ground. The younger trees moved with the wind, then rose when it had passed. That night I learned a rigid thing is not always built to last. My father wore his silence like armor on his chest. He carried every worry and refused a moment's rest. He taught me how to work the land, how to finish what I planned. But it took me years to understand the sorrow in his hands. A man must be strong enough to stand, strong enough to bend, strong enough to speak the truth, strong enough to make amends. It takes more than an iron will to walk through bitter winds. The strongest man is not the one who swears he'll never bend. I carried that same silence into everything I built. I hid behind my labor when my heart was filled with guilt. When the people who stood near me tried to reach behind my walls, I called distance independence and mistook my pride for strength. Then my oldest son confronted me one evening by the gate. He said, I know you've worked for us, but I need more than what you make. I need to know the man you are, not only what you earn. His words move through my hardened heart like fire through winter earth. A man must be strong enough to stand, strong enough to bend, strong enough to hear the truth when it comes from those he loves. It takes more than an iron will to bring a hard road to an end. The strongest man is not the one who swears he'll never bend. I sat beside him on the porch and told him of my fears, of all the nights I doubted what I had become through years. He did not see me smaller, he did not turn away. The truth I thought would weaken me brought us closer on that day. Now when anger fills the room, I let the silence breathe. I listen before answering and think before I speak. I have not lost my backbone, I have only learned its place. Strength can guard the ones you love without becoming a cage. A man must be strong enough to stand, strong enough to bend, strong enough to lower pride and let forgiveness enter in.
before he bends.
My father died in March and left behind a house full of the usual things. Tools and old receipts and 30 years of field and stream, the kind of things that accumulate around a quiet man who never learned to talk about the things that mattered. I found the shoebox in his closet almost by accident. Some things you only find you're the one left cleaning out of life, and inside were letters dated back to 1974, addressed to my mother, never sent. Some tethers to a version of my father I had never met, a young man begging her some fetters of pride or fear that kept him from ever mailing them some private, silent tethers. Between the man who raised me, stern and quiet at the dinner table, hardly speaking, more than orders and weather, and this other man whose handwriting was leaking, feeling on to every page, apologizing for a fight I'd never heard of seeking. Forgiveness for some failure he never once mentioned in 50 years, some deeply seeking version of himself he'd buried under decades of just showing up, just working, just providing. And I sat on his closet floor for hours, my whole understanding jerking sideways of who my father was, a man who apparently felt everything, kept it lurking. Underneath the silence I'd mistaken my whole life for simply being cold, a working class or generation, knowing really he was drowning quiet in a language he'd never learned. To speak out loud the way so many of them did, the way that old generation burned, through feeling without naming it. And I sat there wishing he had mailed them, wishing he had turned toward her with the words instead of just the actions. And then I understood, and something turned in me too, reading 40 years of unsent honesty from a dead man's careful hand. I understood why I'd struggled saying things out loud myself, why I could stand in front of my own wife for 20 years and never quite find how to expand beyond the safety of doing instead of saying. And I made myself a different stand. That week I wrote my own wife a letter, mailed it though we live under one roof. And I sent every word my father never sent. His broke the silence he had unknowingly lent me. And I'll never know if he'd have wanted me to find that box, but I'm grateful that it meant his
silence finally taught his son to speak, even decades after his intent.
My father died in March and left behind a house full of the usual things. Tools and old receipts and 30 years of field and stream. The kind of things that accumulate around a quiet man who never learned to talk about the things that mattered. And I found the shoebox in his closet almost by accident. Some things you only find when you're the one left cleaning out a light. And inside were letters dated back to 1974, addressed to my mother, never sent, some tethers to a version of my father I had never met. A young man begging her some fetters of pride or fear that kept him from ever mailing them some private, silent tethers. Between the man who raised me, stern and quiet at the dinner table, hardly speaking, more than orders and weather, and this other man whose handwriting was leaking, feeling onto every page, apologizing for a fight I'd never heard of, seeking forgiveness for some failure he never once mentioned in 50 years, some deeply seeking version of himself he buried under decades of just showing up, just working, just providing. And I sat on his closet floor for hours, my whole understanding jerking sideways of who my father was, a man who apparently felt everything, kept it lurking underneath the silence I'd mistaken my whole life for simply being cold or working. Class or generational, when really he was drowning quiet in a language he'd never learned, to speak out loud the way so many of them didn't, the way that whole generation burned, through feeling without naming it. And I sat there wishing he had mailed them, wishing he had turned order with the words instead of just the actions. And then I understood, and something turned in me too, reading 40 years of unsent honesty from a dead man's careful hand. I understood why I'd struggled saying things out loud myself, why I could stand in front of my own wife for 20 years and never quite find how to expand beyond the safety of doing instead of saying. And I made myself a different stand. That week I wrote my own wife a letter, mailed it though we live under one roof, and I sent every word my father never sent. His broke the silence he had unknowingly lent me, and I'll never know if he'd have wanted me to find that
weeks, but I'm grateful that it meant his silence finally taught his son to speak, even decades after his intent.